Awesome. What's up, everybody? Thank you. Welcome to Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo Community, a place for tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and the curious to unite under all things art and tattoos. All right, we encourage you to join in these live streams and real-world events where we offer a new option for connecting with each other to better your art, develop your skill set, and be with other like-minded people. Before we get started, we wanted to say thank you to some of our sponsors. World Tattoo Events. You can find them at worldtattooevents.com. They are the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events worldwide. As you know, lots of things are updating as conventions are rescheduling like crazy, so visit them on their website to see what is new. Also, thank you, Inkjet Stencils. You can find them at inkjetstencils.com. Mobile or your computer, save time, your hands, apprentices' hands. They have webinars and free samples at inkjetstencils.com. Also, thank you to Raw Pigments, an ink company that is tapping acrylic-free pigments that have been impressing artists across the globe. You can find them at rawpigments.co. Also, thank you to D-Lize Pro, known internationally as Dermalize Pro. Protect your art. If you're using Saran Wrap, watch videos of tattooers to see what it's all about at dermalizepro.com. Also, thank you to TattooNow, which is technology for tattooers. Thank you, Gabe, for and the founder, of course, and inspiration behind Reinventing the Tattoo. You can find his Biomech Encyclopedia, DVDs, machines, more at guyaitchison.com. Of course, we also want to of our affiliate Fireside Tattoo Network, Amy at the Apprenticeship Diaries, and ecofriendlytattoosupplies.com. All right, now I guess it's time
also
to
real
jump
quick,
right in.
testing. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, another sponsor is Interstate Inc. LA. They hopped on and they've got a really awesome thing. Church is out in they're out in Los Angeles. I don't know if you've seen any of the those shoes that got uploaded to the community recently, but he's doing awesome realism sneakers. But he also has a shop that's looking for guest artists and artists. They are a clean and sober shop, so they want to be supportive of everybody in recovery, which is awesome. So we do a lot of drunk critiques and stuff, so it's great to be able to sponsor or be represented or represent, or I don't know. It's good to be able to send people to a shop that is supportive of a clean lifestyle right in Los Angeles. Church is the guy. You'll hear more from him Tuesday. I'm doing an interview with him, but it's great. So if you're on that path, you need to be in that path, then that's a great shop. And again, check out his sneakers. They're fucking awesome. Okay. They are an official Reinventing sponsor, so I wanted to make sure that they got plugged.
Awesome.
And then Brian, while I'm here, Brian Brigadol in the one of the YouTube channels says good night. Hopefully he means it's a good night and not good night. And then let's see, I think the Facebooks are working. Jackie Giovanni says, hello, everyone with the horns. Thank you for letting us know that it's working for you. And cool.
Awesome.
Okay, oh, wait, do you want to run the intro?
Yes, I do. All right, guys, here we go. All right.
It's like we're always working out a new kink. It seems like I realized like 30 seconds into that we're all still staring at the screen while the intro is playing on the YouTube. channel. We have to disable our cameras for that to happen. It's like a thumbnail of an intro and then 3 people just blankly staring at the camera.
Nice. Well, we got. So we also So I just want to keep chat. Thank you for people that are watching and chatting. John from Sarasota, Florida. Emma says hi. Kevin Johnson says whoa. Hopefully, what's up. Emma's from Australia. Thank you very much for tuning in. It must be it's 10 in the morning for you there. No. I don't know what time it is. What time is it for you there? I know that the tattooers are in lockdown in Australia, so. I know a guy was trying to beam into some, sent some schedules for some Australian artists that are pretty awesome. Atomic Injection says Marietta, as always. Thanks for beaming in, and we always see him on the drawing groups. So that's great.
We have a pretty decent chat already going on the Fireside channel as well. Hopefully everything's streaming okay this time.
Let me hop over there too.
Yeah, decent. Neil Foster.
So I did my homework. I have tons. I'm not. I'm just. I do have tons of clips. I also have the Tattoo Now of the Day, a little gallery of tattoos that we could look at, because this is a show, and Tattoo Now
of the Day. All right.
Tattoo Now of the Day. So I'm gonna show one less clip, but I'll be showing off some tattoos.
All right. Well, yeah, sweet. You want to kick it off? What's our order of operations here? Is there any really pressing topic, anything huge in the world of tattooing that I likely missed last week?
Nothing too crazy on my end. I think that people are dealing with shutdowns. For example, that convention that I'd been talking about for more than a month was canceled, and I know that was a big bummer. That was the Inked Hearts Tattoo Expo. So I guess we're kind of playing it by ear to see if California are gonna do the same. And of course, Golden State Tattoo Expo radar, because the expo that was canceled is in Humboldt County, California. So we'll see. That could be a hot news item for sure coming up, because I know that everybody's looking forward to that.
On that point, officially, as always, the Paradise BYOB will be web. People are showing up, but it's also very airy. But this is in October, the October to the 6th show. If you do show up in person, it's a ski resort. It's nice and airy. We'll probably do as much painting outdoors as we can, but also, I think we have
Can we do outdoor seminars? I wonder. Or the seminar rooms are probably the only challenge, for those of us that are presenting. Some seminars.
Of them, some of the painting ones, could be outdoors. If the ones that are indoors, we could open up the windows and keep masks on. We'll roll with it. We do have a fair amount of people that are coming out. A couple of tattoo shops. They're picking up some of the condos and stuff, so that's cool.
Nice. I'm excited. I hope people do come out in person. I mean, obviously, I want people to be safe, but I'll be there in person, and I would love to. I'll be teaching a 2-day workshop on limiting your options to make better tattoo designs, limiting the number of options that you have based on the client, based on the placement, and a lot of other things like that. And while I'm happy to do it to people through the webcast, I would really love to have actual faces there to look back and shake their heads or look confused or whatever. To be awesome.
And there's tons of space. Like I said, we never get a shit ton. It's a pilgrimage, it's a ski resort. So people should definitely be coming on out and grabbing the rooms, and everything there is. Like I said, it's a ski resort.
Gabe, I have a question. When was the last gathering? I know we spoke about it.
2016.
It was in a previous lifetime.
It was 2016, was it not? I think looking at the page.
2016 sounds right. It was a lot of fun. I remember a really cool video up that had a slamming lineup like a month before the show. I remember also having the show. Was awesome. It was a magic time. Yeah, Stefano did the painting. It was out of control.
It's really cool.
And it was a real beautiful time. Yeah, no, well, what you know is probably better. Like I said, it was. I have a blind, not a blind spot, but I got a couple lost years there. Which ones they were. Sometimes my soundtrack on my iPad or my iPhone tells me, though, because you look at play your favorites from this year.
Right. Yeah.
But
we actually
have. Sorry, what was that?
I was going to say, we just got a comment from Neil Foster here on the Fireside page. He says he's learning oil, so I thought that was a good opportunity. Neil, whether you want to come out in person or beam in, what's his name that's doing the oil seminar?
It's Christian Perez.
Christian Perez, man.
Yeah.
Go take that seminar if you're working in oil. He is really, really good.
Absolutely, yeah. And Christian took a lot of the Illustrator's Masters classes. I mean, it works down at Hope Gallery, so he's got Joe and he's got the whole crew there to help and inspire him. But yeah, he's done a lot of the Illustrators, instructional stuff. Mm-hmm. You could just really tell when tattooers kind of try to enter into not the real world. I hate to say that word real, but like heavy illustrator craft. And because without the limit some of the visions that they could come across, are amazing. Completely different mediums, but that's why your storytelling series of tattooers is a great example of the tattooers who have a lot of that, illustrator kind of storytelling vibe going on with their tattoos.
Yeah, I love that. I've been in deep on that stuff for a while, and I've really enjoyed this series we've been doing through Fireside with the illustrative series. And this coming week, I haven't done the interview yet, but we're going to have Gary Villarreal. If you guys don't know Gary, he's not a tattooer, but he's an incredible illustrator. So he'll be a great addition to that series.
Oh yeah, we'll link. Smith did a great interview with him for the Richmond Arts Academy.
Okay. So that's where I met him, was at the Richmond show. He was on our show at the last Richmond convention before COVID, and that's where we were introduced. And I was already a huge fan of his work, but once I met him, and he's super down to earth, kind of a Southern California guy, really laid back, super cool.
100%.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, let's jump into to some of these topics. You said you have a lot of videos to go through.
Well, yeah, Lauren, you said you have. Do we want to talk about this topic? We didn't do introductions. People might not know who we are. So we don't have to go off on 10-minute diatribes about our greatest achievements. But
all right. Well, let's do that. Lauren, you go first. Who are you? We lost your audio.
Yep. I'm Lauren. I have met some of you through Reinventing the Tattoo or Raw Pigments or Worldwide Ink Magazine. I do a lot of the behind stuff. I've worked in ink manufacturing for several years, and a lot of the geeky stuff that Gabe enjoys are stuff that pique my interest for sure. So yeah, happy to be here. I've been doing this for this is 7 weeks now. And I'm happy to be here, you guys.
What's your Instagram or website, or how can people get in touch with you?
Sure, you guys can find me at lauren.worldwide or Raw Pigments. Drop me a message if you're anything about reinventing. I help set up the events, so you've probably seen some of the cool events that I've hosted in the last several weeks, several months on that the reinventing community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been using those Raw Pigments. I like them. I actually need to place an order. I started using the whitewash after you mentioned it to me. So I've done and all my tattoos last week were gray tattoos for some reason. So I basically blasted through all the small whitewash things. I need to get some.
Okay.
So,
awesome.
Yeah, they're really great. They are actually more. There's more white ink in those than in the other ones that I've used. You really have to shake them up pretty well, but you can see that they're kind of a hybrid, complete white or gray wash and opaque gray. But yeah, I really like those. So while I'm talking, I'll just tell everyone I'm Jake Meeks. I run the Fireside Tattoo Network along with my buddy Scott Doney, who may be watching this right now. He said he was going to tune in and see what this whole thing was about. We focus on blurring the lines between tattooing and fine art for the last 8 or 9 years. So we try to find really great artists, visual artists of all mediums, and pick their brains and figure out how to plug it into tattooing. Started doing that years ago because I found that I was taking painting courses and illustrating courses, and when they found out that I was a tattooer, they thought, "Oh, you should learn how to do real art." They didn't really say that, but they're like, "You can draw. Why do you waste your time on that tattooing?" But anyway, so my goal is to kind of bridge that gap as much as I can. And of course, when I first started Fireside, it seemed like there was not a lot of content like that out there. And then now you look around and what you guys are doing with Reinventing and several other folks out there that are there's a whole like team of people that have more than bridged the gap. Now tattooers are some of the most accomplished visual artists in the world. So we achieved our goal.
Wow. Woohoo. My name is Gabe Ripley. I am a computer geek. I'm not sure where my focus is on the computer or on the camera. I do a lot of techie, businessy stuff for tattooers, it seems. I tried to get out, or I almost got knocked out a couple of years ago. But, the fact that tattooing allows people to be who they want to be is something that is, it's fascinating. It's awesome. I cannot get away from it. And I really appreciate amplifier of positive, well, in this case, positive tattooers, although I love other arts and other languages. Tattooing is definitely, clearly, as we all know, something that is, well, it's just straight up unique. It's one of the few experiences that you will remember for the rest of your life. And it's happening in a manner that, well, yeah, again, if the tattooers manifesting a positive experience, then that is going to compound for a long time. And likewise, if it's a negative experience, it compounds for a long time. So anyways, I like to geek out on, to Lauren's point, the technology space where we're positive, progressive tattooers to help the world become a better place. It sounds cheesy. Did you ever watch, what is it, Silicon Valley on HBO? It's like, we want to make the world a better place through having better toilet paper.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, they make people become who they want to be. And if people want to be better, great people, then it's an awesome journey to be on. I'm very thankful any way that people want.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. We're all lucky to be in this space. And as you're talking, I'm looking down at our chat, and I see that Neil Foster again is saying he's learning oils working, and he can't ever get a shot at a tattoo apprenticeship, and he's getting feedback from other people who are on the chat about how frustrating it is to get into tattooing. And it's funny that we're sitting and talking about what a blessing it is to be in tattoo. Yeah.
Not that we want to get on with the show, but post up your artwork, right? If it's so slamming, that look at Christian work, look at some artwork, look at all your work, your work, Jake. The apprentices have to be producing artwork that can stand alongside and actually contribute, right? So apparently some people can hit the lottery and be 17 and be in the right time in the right place and have the right work ethic and not fuck up enough to more and more. I mean, if your artwork is just so slamming that the person that's tattooing you looks at it and is like, you should fucking tattoo, that's not, that is within your control, so keep going after those oils. And, just real quick, the Reinventing the Tattoo app, one of the Hurtados, Matt has an oil 101, and there's also a lot of other oil classes. Sean Barber's got a skull painting. All the crew has painting classes up there on the Reinventing app. So anyways.
Yeah.
And then also, of course, Amy at the Apprenticeship Diaries. If you have things that you're going through mentally, I of course recommend that, because there's so many things that go into getting an apprenticeship.
Yeah. I just did an interview earlier today. I know we need to get on with this, but I did an interview earlier today for someone else's show. It's a woman named Chelsea. I'm drawing a blank on her last name, but she's doing something called Ink and Alchemy, and I had committed to it months ago and kind of let it slip my mind. But we had the interview today, and it's about a lot about just the struggles of. It's kind of a mental health thing for artists, and she's had a lot of different specialists from different parts of the not just all from the tattoo world, but healers and psychiatrists and psychologists and all different types of people. And we talked a good bit about the kind of challenges of going through an apprenticeship, getting an apprenticeship, being a beginning tattooer, the kind of imposter syndrome, the imposter kind of, what's the term I'm looking for? Feeling like you're not, you're not, like you're going to be found out to not be as good as people think that you are or whatever. And so many of us go through that. And I think her series isn't out yet, but if the other interviews, if she's as good in the other interviews as she was at pulling things out of my life experiences, then I think it'll be a really great series. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Ink and Alchemy is the name of it. So I think it's starting to release in September. Did she reach out to you too, Gabe?
No, but somebody in my network. Gotcha. I also do consulting for awesome tattooers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm available
thank you, Neil. Neil says he's learned a lot from Fireside. People are saying nice things about Fireside. I appreciate that, guys. I really do.
You've been doing amazing things for a very long time.
Well, thank you. All right, let's start talking about what's happening in the tattoo world. What's your what's your stuff this week? What have I missed in the world of reinventing and TattooNow?
Well, I know that I was going to share some stuff. I'm just having a little sound issues on it, but it was really cool to do a Q&A about tattoo machines with Greg DiGiacinto that happened live on Wednesday. And I guess one of the cool questions that we talked about were now that information is a little bit more streamlined, easy to access internationally, how does some of our American roots extend over in Europe or Russia or Australia? So Tony had mentioned some pretty cool machine builders that are using a lot of our old, frames and types of machines and kind of a new life. It's really interesting stuff.
I love the fact that tattooing is always kind of, well, for one, it's always kind of been worldwide, but like the internet's helped things get into the nooks and crannies, not the old, ways that it always kind of happened. And interviews like Ivana, who was, some people that were, and other people that were behind the hour, and as it fell, they were like information from it's crazy. It's how difficult it has been to get information, and of it. That's awesome. So are you so you're going to be working in the background to try to get the clips with the audio? Should I play maybe one of them?
Yeah, we'll probably skip over that one because the audio is missing out. But yeah, definitely.
Where can we find it if we can't see a clip? Where's the best place to?
On the Reinventing YouTube channel with tattoo. And if you guys like that type of stuff, Tony and Greg said they're more than willing to do more Q&As, definitely more often.
Awesome. So if you're watching this and you have if you want to zoom in with your tattoo machine, and then they'll do their diagnosis.
Man, if you're just getting into tattooing in the last few years, I don't think you know what a huge asset that is to have people who know what they're talking about help you to tune a machine or to just talk about what's actually happening. All the lunacy that happened back when I started tattooing from people who thought they understood electromagnetism and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, man, we were so wrong about everything, or we knew just enough to be dangerous and make every mistake possible. And we're trying to cut our own springs and set spring tension. It's like, the machines wouldn't even run half the time, and now you can just get on a Zoom call and be like, "Why does my machine sound like this?" And someone can help you. It's a different world.
And those have a they are really tapped into the traditional American tattooing. They've learned the lessons. They've gone out of their way to learn from the heart of traditional American tattooers. And with Tony building the machines, they all know how to build machines from hands, of course. But they also tattoo, right? So, and they're tattooing anything that walks through the door, right? Obviously we love amazing tattoos that are rendering, in all of the different ways, including, realism and freaky, but and surrealism and, all the different things, black. But in Hunter, I did a recent thing with him, just the fact that they're down with tattooing what walks through, and that transformation, it's that the experience that they're delivering the client is really what counts. And now that said, Hunter, they've got Flash that's bio, right? So part of that traditional, will do anything that walks through the door, and if they have bio flash on the walls and people are like, "Oh, I want that," then all of a sudden they're doing a bio half sleeve on people. I don't know, it's cool. I love love it all.
Yeah All right, let's watch some videos. I'm tired of listening to you guys talk so much.
Yeah, fair enough.
I did also another thing, unless Gabe, you're going to roll. We had a really cool art jam on Tuesday evening. If you guys missed it, just a stellar lineup. We had Stefano, Darwin Enriquez. Yeah, so I'm going to show a little bit. If you guys don't mind, I will hop into that clip. It was a pretty cool experience.
So
it is in Spanish.
Cameras off.
Yep. So guys, yeah, this was in Spanish. This was with Bruno Salvatierra. He did it Tuesday night. We do one of these roughly every month. So this happened to be episode number 7. And some of the best tattooers in the world were there hanging out, cool, and doing art. Let's check it out.
Sí, bueno, muchas gracias, Estefano, nuevamente. Un placer tenerte invitado. Y también tenemos a Andrés Makishi. ¿Cómo estás, Andrés?
¿Qué tal? Bien, acá aprovechando para pintar un poco, para mejorarlo, ¿no?
Claro, finales. Y muchas gracias por estar aquí, Andrés.
Gracias por la invitación también.
Claro que sí, un placer. Y Andrés también es un artista peruano que reside en Nueva York y tatúa en Nation Studio. Y a Andrés lo pueden ubicar en Instagram también, bajo @Andrés Makishi. Espectacular el cuadro, ¿ah? Definitivamente.
Gracias.
También tenemos al gran Chimpa Moreno. ¿Cómo estás, Chimpa?
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Todo bien? ¿Todo chévere? Gracias por la invitación.
Chimpa también se une desde Nueva York, desde su estudio Nation Studio en Nueva York, y a Chimpa lo pueden ubicar en Instagram en @ChimpaMoreno. Es ZHIMPA Moreno. Eso. Gracias, Chimpa. Y los cuadros que tienes ahí también se ven espectaculares, así que va a ser...
Sí, yo también empecé
en
la pandemia.
Sí.
Entonces, siempre fue motivo, ¿no? Para agarrar pinceles.
Hay que tener un poco de tiempo para hacer lo que andábamos buscando hacer cuando había esa falta de tiempo, ¿no? Así que fue una gran oportunidad para muchos, como tú dices, definitivamente. Muchos proyectos empezaron.
Definitivamente.
Excelente, Chimpa. Ahora vamos a conversar un poco más. Y nuestro último invitado, Darwin Enríquez. ¿Cómo estás, Darwin?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Gracias por la invitación.
No, gracias a ti por estar acá, hermano. Un placer.
No, motivado, muy contento de compartir con todos mis colegas aquí. Y también nos inspira, ¿no? Porque yo creo que las ganas de pintar, las ganas de pintar se transmiten, ¿no? Como que tú ves a otro pintando, diseñando, tú también quieres pintar. Y creo que esto es súper buena idea, este proyecto, porque podemos transmitirle estas ganas de pintar a muchos artistas, ¿no? A motivarlos a que continúen.
Love those. Your mic's off. I love those Spanish programming. Like, clearly the visuals transcend. And we should all be learning Spanish.
We definitely need some subtitles though in the future.
Yeah,
I want to know what they're talking about.
If anybody's Kishi from Ink Nation Studio, that painting he was working on was amazing. I would love to see that in person. Any thoughts? If you guys just let us know, I'd be anxious to hear what you have to think.
Yeah. I'm ecstatic every time we are able to, with the BYOB, we'll have, I think it's Tuesday, there's a full set of Spanish programming going on. And yeah, I love it.
Is there a YouTube plugin or anything for the streams that we could have them?
Anything and everything can be done with time and money. If there's any sponsor, pitch in just a little bit. We'd love to be able to offer
the translate or the subtitles.
Yeah, we can do. Everything is possible with time and money, and willpower and vision, dedication. Discipline.
Don't be discouraged if you see an art jam in Spanish, because honestly, it's mesmerizing. They usually last. So literally, if we should probably drop that link into the YouTube channels right now, because I mean, there's Stefano talks for an extended period of time. Darwin dives pretty deep into some of his design process. Jimpa, really cool stuff.
Claro, and everyone should be learning a little Spanish. You know, the human brain is capable of it. We all focus and practice a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No loco. Mucho bureau? No.
I need
mucho cervezas.
Yeah, cervezas. I need to stop being lazy and commit to one of the 75 Spanish apps, lessons, DVD videos, all the way back to when things were on tape. That's how long I've been intending to learn Spanish.
You know, we could do well, for one, I have to commend, I think, James Kern, who and did the dedication. I think it was like 3 or 4 days a week for like 2 or 3 years. That's kind of what it took. Now, idea seed out there, tattoo, Spanish, English for tattooing is definitely a little bit of a, so if we could start a class that is tattooing Spanish to English, and kind of for both, for Spanish speakers to learn English, English speakers to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'll take it.
Yeah, especially there's a lot of shows that I've been to personally, like the Empire Expo, Golden State Tattoo Expo, where it really does pay to know, because I mean, you're cutting off a whole amount of artists that are traveling in. But yeah, props to everybody like James, you had mentioned, who are taking those extra steps, because there's a lot of terminology that gets a little fuzzy. I don't know if you've noticed that. And it would be nice to have something set that was kind of straightforward.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I listened to a podcast called News in Slow Spanish that actually it doesn't teach you anything. They just slow down and it's I think I get more out of that than actual Spanish lessons.
Claro. I mean, a lot of people learn from watching like soap operas or cartoons and stuff, right? Just like watching actions to go on. I mean, it's repetitive patterns, you know, that the brain starts to different things.
Yeah. Right.
Over the course of several years, we'll say.
Right. Yeah. All right. What's up next?
Yeah, I want to jump on to Gabe. Otherwise, I found something that was kind of, I guess you could say, a current event that I thought was kind of out there, if you know what I mean. This there's an artist in Italy who is kind of taking things to a new level, and I asked the question, where is the line drawn between what's okay and maybe what we probably should stick away from? So I'm going to go ahead and share a couple of these images from an artist out in Italy.
I love it's a philosophical question. Oh shit, we're going on camera. Audio on though, because we have opinions about this.
Yeah. Here. All right. It's a very short video, guys, but I'll also.
What did he get? Did he get a free hamburger for a tattoo?
He was allowed in.
Wait a minute. I completely missed what's happening.
So this is the
this? Can you play it again? Play. I missed. I wasn't prepared for it to be so short. What? I don't even know what I just saw.
So what we're seeing is an artist out of Italy who actually tattooed a green pass on his client. And this artist is
right.
A green pass. I was actually thinking it was something to do with entry, and I almost thought maybe it could segue into our pass, so to speak. That's why I'm bringing it up. But this artist is constantly pushing boundaries. He recently tattooed on a yacht in Italy. He recently tattooed on a Ferrari in Italy, and he's really pushing things. But I'm curious as to like what is too far. You know, it's definitely I would say controversial.
So this thing that he
controversial, I'm down with too far, but I need a little bit more details on what we just saw. So we've got an Italian artist who tattooed a code on a kid to get him a fucking hamburger. What is going on here? Is this a COVID? Because I thought I saw a news item that said somebody got a pass because is that what's going on here?
would be the
Congratulations.
roll back a little bit further for you guys and pause
What
it
does
right.
that say right there? Certification.
Our Italian friends will have to let us know in the chat rooms. My first impression is getting a QR code tattooed on you. Get fuck anything at a fast food joint is fucking.
Is it tattooed or is it just stenciled? I couldn't tell that.
That's tattooed.
As we can see right here, guys, it's for the COVID-19.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I mean, honestly, that's cool. I'm not saying, and I'm not promoting this overly to anybody, but what are your opinions about these trending kind of like?
Well, that reminds me of the UPC codes from 20 years ago that we were tattooing. That may or may not have been a UPC code for anything, but everyone who had one tried to scan it, at Kroger or whatever.
For art's sake, I'm down. I mean, I guess like I'm down. Like I said, I'm down for art's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Or are we talking about like passcodes for vaccines or whatever? Like part of like how do you?
Yeah.
Like if I'm scanning that shit, I'm like, I don't know, man. You could have fucking used anybody else's fucking vaccine fucking pass for that shit. Like, how do you authenticate of a vaccine thing? So that that's not like.
Right.
But okay. So as far as gimmicky, like part of tattooing. Okay. So here's my take on it. Sorry, I've had. Let me finish my. Okay. I'm just as guilty. For years, I've been like sailors and outlaws and military people. But like the carnies, for what, and there was royalty. Everyone got tattooed, right? Okay. But in that narrative of like 150 years ago, tattooing, like the carnies and the sideshows and the freaks definitely carry on part of tattooing, and part of tattooing is about that spectacle. I guess not for me. But it is for people. Yeah. And, if somebody wants to get a whatever the fuck you call those codes again, QR codes,
QR code.
so get a fucking fish fillet or whatever. I lost it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt as well. And then this guy, his name is Gabriel out of Italy. He is pushing some certain. I was curious. Jake, Gabe, what your opinion on and how far is too far? I'll go ahead and share his Instagram page so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, let me turn my camera off and I'll kind of look and see what he's doing.
Awesome. So this one caught my interest in terms of like pushing the limits of, I've seen Tat Venture, I've seen all sorts of stuff, but he's literally on a yacht in Italy drinking, in a pretty uneasy, looks more like Cabo if you ask me.
Yeah.
So that is
I don't need oysters necessarily, but that looks like a fucking beautiful place.
It does look.
I want to go there.
Yeah. I mean, this kind of stuff doesn't surprise me, necessarily. And I see people that I keep up with on Instagram who are tattooing.
Oh, shit, look at that work! What the fuck is the problem here? If that guy's doing that, I'll let him do that on a fucking rocket ship.
Yeah, right. I think that's the thing. I see people tattooing on jets or tattooing in different kind of crazy.
It's probably not worth the price. Okay, so this is like a so he's not only doing quality work, but he's doing like work. Yeah, whatever. Right. Like if you're gonna bleed over your own car, you're only gonna give yourself disease. You're not gonna give yourself disease. It's your own blood, right? Jake, tattooer.
That's right. Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Look at that.
Work looks solid.
Look at that shit anywhere. Now the car's not driving. He did that shit at a fucking 120 miles an hour.
Yeah, like the Steve-O tattoo with.
Get him on the show. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear his perspective on like what he's going for with that type of shock value.
That's like quality work. Like I mean, when I've seen people like, so here's the thing, right? So the battery is completely 100% bust open, fucking out in the wilderness, right? I mean, 10 years ago it would be like you go out into the woods. Some people, I mean, Jake, I don't know if you ever got the fucking car battery. You can take a car battery out into the woods and tattoo people, and
I never did that. No, yeah. That type of like tattooing, I think, has been going on for a long time, and it's becoming more. But with social media and especially short videos, it's getting bigger and bigger. But I tattoo for years. I've tattooed a guy. His name is Tim Howard. He's a soccer star. He's a U.S. goalkeeper for the U.S. national team and played for Manchester United for a long time. And he's a huge tattoo collector. And so he's always traveling, and he has this whole like club with him and stuff like that a lot of times. And so I've there are well-known, really good artists who work out of hotels on athletes and on celebrities, or get on the jet with them and tattoo them from one show to another, or tattoo backstage at Red Rocks. And I've heard a lot of these stories from Tim. I've seen him he showed me videos of tattoo parties backstage at huge venues like Madison Square Garden or whatever. And so I don't think it's that. I think that stuff's been happening a while. This guy seems like he's put some production quality to it, and is like trying to like make cool cuts and add music. And I'm cool with his tattoos. Look awesome. So
what the fucking tattoos? I don't know. I mean, I guess I didn't see him healed like in person. Like
Robert Foe has been doing some really cool stuff too. If you guys ever
he's been
follow
amazing
him.
forever.
Yeah.
Time and the skin.
Yeah, absolutely. But in Hawaii, he has some really just in the most beautiful of scenic environments. I'm sure.
I would love to get tattooed in a really scenic environment. I don't want to get tattooed in a Ferrari. No interest in that. No. But that's okay. I am all. Well,
but not at a McDonald's, right? Right.
Not at a McDonald's, yeah, and not a discount code.
The McDonald's, I mean, no, I just have a thing about, like, I mean, so to your point though, like, where do you, so part of your question is a philosophical question. Like, I'm not like morally opposed to someone getting tattooed. It's way harder, I suppose, to be cleaner, clearly. But I don't know, like, what the fuck is happening in the Ferraris? Where was that Ferrari? There's probably shit that happens in Ferraris. Not as many people.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, from a cross contamination or bloodborne pathogen kind of standpoint, like to your point earlier, how portable and easy tattooing has become, but battery operated stuff, a pen, your entire setup can sit in a single Ziploc bag. Sandwich baggie, everything that you buy cartridge wise is in blister packs and pre-sterilized. It is. I mean, I really don't want to say this out loud on YouTube, but it's a lot harder to spread disease as a tattooer than it was 20 years ago. Yeah, you can still.
If you know what you're doing and you pay attention.
Right. It's easy to be sanitary these days if you just make a minimal effort, I think. Yeah. So
okay. So Nick says, and I thought about this earlier. So. Jake, well, to both of your points, thank you for doing this ahead of time, because we got to think about it. But Nick says, imagine how that QR code is going to look in a few years from now. Going to hold up well over time, so the code will be useless. Yeah, okay, sure. So, if it's not done well, even if it's done as well as it could possibly be. But here's the thing: people walk around with so many shitty tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, how many shitty tattoos do people have, right? So, this guy's going to have a shitty tattoo, that got him 1 million fucking views on Facebook because he was able to get a fucking fish fillet. I still can't get over that part. Like, I don't know. Like, I really wish there was a better example of what's going on here. Maybe it wasn't a fish fillet, but like extra pickles. Like,
luckily,
a menu item.
Luckily, the QR code will expire before the tattoo gets too blurry to read.
Yeah, sure. And then there's a fair amount, so 3D tattoos. There's, the skin isn't perfect, right? So, but I don't
what it made me think of at first when he was first walking in with it? If you guys have ever seen the movie Idiocracy, when they're getting all their when he has to get tattooed. Have you ever seen Idiocracy? Oh man, what a great movie! You should watch that. Everyone has to get tattooed just for people to keep up with them. And you were talking about thinking it was a COVID thing. And it's like, man, that sounds like a step towards Idiocracy, where we're being tattooed with our with our vaccination passport. Hopefully not.
Well, I mean, I think, like I said, I think it's silly. Like the vaccination passport is to be tattooed on you, and that's like frankly. Any place that wants a vaccination passport's not going to fucking take your tattoo of it, because that's not you can tattoo anybody's vaccination passport on you. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's interesting. Thanks for bringing that up. I mean, that's tattooing QR codes.
So the
I was just going to mention that McDonald's comment is a real thing, you guys. It was just ridiculous. Gabe sent us a link last week just for fun. a cashier who stopped to tattoo somebody in McDonald's. So that's another level in and of itself too.
And they did get arrested. It wasn't sanitary. And again, I'm not, like I said, so it was wrong. They weren't sanitary. They weren't licensed. They got arrested. You shouldn't be doing that. Again, as far as like shock value, artsy tattoos against anybody tattooing in a fucking McDonald's over as long as it's all kosher. But clearly it wasn't kosher. Can you say anything these days? I'm fucking paranoid.
These last couple of weeks, we've really shot ourselves in the foot when it comes to getting that McDonald's sponsorship. We're pointing out all the all the worst things.
Let's go after the ink. Right. So Lauren, the next clip that I have fired up here is actually an interview that you did with John Surik, and I believe that he's actually to do a talk at the BYOB or to BYOB virtually. Is that the truth?
Yes, and if anybody does have follow-up, I asked him some follow-up questions that he did answer in my last email. Things are kept a little vague, but we will have a lot of interesting content in that next conversation because, the first time we only with him for an hour and he has a lot to say.
Yeah, that's cool. We could talk about it on the other end of this. Okay, so everyone's got to kill their cameras. I guess I have to kill my camera last. We'll get the. Oh no, I don't. When I click go, it's on my camera.
For the viewer, talk about your current research. Like, what is a day in the life of studying these things, like the equipment used and facial.
Yeah. So we have a few sort of parallel research streams going on. And a collaborator on the team that are working on growing human dermis. At least as a model, right? It's not a perfect model for skin, but it's a start. And that, how do these dermal cells react to tattoo inks? How do they react when you start illuminating it with light? And the idea, are we, if we have red ink present and we start illuminating it, do we see a massive die-off? Or do we see something strange happening there? So trying to understand, okay, are we releasing some sort of toxic decomposition product? What's going on there? We've got another sort of stream looking at what's actually happening at sort of a molecular when we start illuminating these things. So if we hit them with a laser versus if we just sort of hit them with sort of simulated sunlight, can we actually quantify, if we start with pigment yellow 77, what does that break down into? Right? What are the molecular components there? And again, try to understand, maybe the pigment that we're starting with is, there aren't any concerns, but by the time it under photochemistry, some changes with light, maybe releasing something that's a known hazard. So can we understand what's going on there? We've got another direction working with a great collaborator in Texas, trying to actually understand laser tattoo removal works. So, it may surprise you in your audience, laser tattoo removal is something like an $11 billion a year industry. And the science underpinning it is purely speculative. Right? When you follow the chain of research back, you find out that the whole industry is based on a paper that has nothing to do with tattoos. It has nothing to do with the materials that are in tattoos. It's a completely different system. And so we believe that what's actually happening when you're zapping these things with a laser is, at best a matter of speculation. So our collaborators have techniques to actually sort of watch laser hit the tattooing and then see what happens. Does it fragment in real time, or else happening that's, killing off the cells around it? What's going on? And then the last sort of area we work on is just trying to understand in commercial tattoo inks. So, for example, I don't remember the specific supplier, but we purchased something like 20 or 30 inks from a company, and we look at this
For the viewers.
Okay, is this? Oh, my mic might not be on. Oh, is my mic on?
You're on. You're good.
Okay, what I love
That's really
about
interesting.
Yeah, what I love about that is that they're just scientists. They don't give a shit. They have no skin in the game, right? And the rest of that interview is awesome. It's absolutely, if you missed it and you tattoo and put inks in people, it's just worth checking out. And yeah, it's I guess we want to.
What's his name again?
John Swerk.
John Swerk.
Hampton University. I just want to touch on one of the questions that was asked from Selena at the Body Art Alliance. She asked, what does photostability mean in the context of tattoo inks, and how does that differ from research done from other industries such as cosmetics? He says that he thinks our focus is a little bit different in that we're specifically interested in what the inks break down into. Whereas most studies out there from the paint or pigment industry are primarily focused on the color fastness and less on decomposition products. So yeah, so this is pretty interesting. This research is pretty groundbreaking. And if for viewers who are unfamiliar, he received $500,000 grant just to study this over the course of 3 years.
So it's definitely worth checking out that full interview, and then in October he'll be coming back to let us know, what he's learned since then. And I really can't thank Reinventing enough as the vessel to communicate with all the academics and stuff. It's actually, Lauren, do you know? We should tease that panel. There is going to be an academic panel. This BYOB that's fucking out of control. Holy shit. Maybe while I play the next video, could you fire up like the info or the Monday or something so that we could tease it?
Oh yeah, I've got that fired up.
Okay.
So yeah. Let's.
So let me. Yeah, the next clip that I've got here is a visionary. It's from the visionary stream that a guy hosted, and it's the question was. Well, I'll just play it because we're running out of time here, and we don't need to fucking give it an intro.
It's sort of an elusive idea, and of course it's been many times, but I think that each of us has kind of our own idea of what that might mean. Let's go first. Simon, why don't we start with you?
Hey, right on. Yeah, visionary art. A lot of things. I mean, when I first got into it many years ago, seeing a call out on Alex Gray's website to join in a movement of creating art that evokes higher states of consciousness. And it was a time when I was exploring entheogens in a more intentional way. And it really awakened me to this whole other level of that I hadn't really experienced much before. So that still resonates with me a lot with what I do. You were describing my work as kind of shamanic before, like psychedelic. So I feel like it's connected to those sort of liminal dream states of being, altered states of being, altered states of consciousness where, visions come from. I might get a vision and want to paint it, but there's something about another form of metaphysics that I like to imbue in my work. That's what visionary art speaks to me about, is like this other levels of consciousness and energy that we're playing with, that we don't always feel them. So how can we express them?
David, how about you?
Wow, that's a fantastic question. The territory changing culturally, anyway. But on a personal level, wow, I mean, unspeakable experiences. I mean, this and in Android's description of his, in his bio, it kind of really relates to that which can't be spoken, that which can't be shared another way. Obviously, a still life is not really the essence of visionary. Perhaps a piece behind me does a little more justice, but something about unspeakable experiences. Those things have to be conveyed through the mind's eye to another person, and I think we can convey a whole lot through a symbol or through an image that it would take us volumes to poorly speak about. I think perhaps it's really just looking at the nature of vision as our sort of primary apparatus of perception. You know, even to that degree that sort of like, you know, Blake and even Platon, you know, light comes out of the eye and we see through our eye. You know, a really interesting concept to me. So it's loose and it's vague. There's something in there that I think a lot of us think of.
Nice. Adam, how about you? I think you're muted right now.
Okay. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, going.
It's going awesome.
Well, yeah, voila. So this is kind of like a smorgasbord of clips and stuff, but that's yeah, that was a great stream. Android Jones and Android Jones did the visuals. Ajalu did some amazing soundtrack, and there was a whole crew of visionary painters that did another like 2 hours of painting and chatting. And, yeah, it's pretty awesome that Guy and Reinventing put together so many cool activities for everybody.
That was the spring equinox, and you know the autumn equinox is in September. So I was curious, you know, if we will celebrate.
Yeah, we should probably get back in touch with all the visionary types.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that I do have fired up are half a dozen to maybe like 8 awesome tattoo nows of the day. So I don't know if we want to catch up on any comments or topics, but
no, I don't have any. I don't have any comments that I think need to be addressed. We had a few people asking about, and it looks like you guys answered as well on the Fireside page. People asking about the topic of mental health and tattooing. That might be something we talk about in another episode. But it looks like we all shared a few ideas of places that or other shows that have already addressed the topic. So I don't have anything. I don't have anything new.
okay. Let me see if this will be audio. Well, I guess we'll play it one way or another. So we should maybe take away our cameras, our audio, and if we have anything to say, I'm going to see if I could even mix in some of this audio here. Okay, so I'm going to screen share. Oh shit! Screen share. Oh no! Oh no! It's got to be a Chrome tab to
Yeah.
have the audio. Is that the truth?
I think that's right.
Okay, we need to. You need to give me a couple seconds here. Can you guys kill some time?
I have one. I think I already have one in the video I was going to share. It's just kind of, I've been trying to think of archive episodes each week, and just to kind of go back and look at episodes that I had kind of maybe forgotten about, or I feel like maybe didn't get the attention that they could have or should have. And I just happened to today, as I was thinking about old episodes, this episode with Corey Bernhardt popped into my head. And he's a tattooer and a painter out of Sacramento, and it was one of those interviews where we just kind of hit the ground running. One of those interviews where we were 20 minutes into talking before I did the intro. And I always really love those whenever that happens. And Corey and I share a lot of the same ideas, I think, when it comes to making art. So let me see if I can pull this up and share it with you guys. Chrome tab. Ooh, man, I can't see anything up here. I'm going to pull this down to a screen that I can see a little clearer. These aren't my reading glasses, you know. All right, archive episodes, share audio.
I just recently had a solo show in Sacramento. It was my first solo show ever, and this really nice guy was critiquing one of my works. You know, it's like, it was, you know, of course, it's like when you go to a restaurant, like everybody all of a sudden becomes like a food critic. You know,
Right.
so you know, I'm at this show and I'm walking around shaking hands. You know, thank you so much for coming. Thank you. You know, and this guy walks in and he says, I love that you know, kind of this like 50-50 thing going on. And I was like, what's that? And he said, composition always works really well if you have the 50-50 rule, which is 50% of taking the viewer's eye and showing them something that's already very relatable, something that they already know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so for me, it's like, okay, like a rooster, you know, or something, you know, it's like, give them something, give them the first 50% that they already know. And then as soon as they kind of walk up to the panel, then you give them the other 50%, which is what they have to search out in the composition. So you take something that's very, you know, like simple and surreal and something that everybody will know.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of take that other 50%, kind of flip it on its head a little bit. And it makes the viewer just like stare at it a little longer, you know, and that's, I think that's the hardest part for a lot of artists is like, you only get eyes on something for a very limited amount of time. You know, like if you read a comic, you're just kind of browsing through and, you know, that people don't really take, you know, they don't think about how long it took to actually draw all this. It's just like you get a second.
Yeah.
You know, so I think, you know, for I'm thinking about that a lot when I'm designing things. So I always think, you know, give them something that draws them in and then kind of try and somehow, you know, kind of blow their mind a little bit. You know what I mean? Just give them something that's surreal or different. You know what I mean? Makes them engaged a little longer.
So I loved that, and the reason I chose that little segment is because I like the idea of showing something that it draws people in because they're already familiar with it, rather than trying to, you know, just push the limits with everything that you do. I like that idea of, like he talked about, he draws a lot of birds, a lot of roosters, a lot of like really common imagery or stuff that you recognize, but then he presents things in such a way, and his feathers have this almost like ripply wave kind of effect. You saw an example of his work right there at the beginning of the clip. And I thought that was really an interesting way to think of it, as like something that's like inviting and familiar to bring someone in, but then you have to keep them hanging around. So I always like thinking about that type of thing.
I can't even what it is to like constantly be, you know, for, you know, similar ideas that you're always trying to make, you know, to your, you know, other themes. Like if you're thinking about it in the context of the story and characters, is almost like, you know, different frames in the movies. I suppose that's why standard territory for pilfering ideas.
Yeah.
This reminds me, Jake, I was going to try and pull it up for you guys, but I saw a post where it was an artist encouraging, he's got a lot of his own digital art and his own art. He was encouraging artists to take on a project that's already been done, something they've seen before but really liked, recreate it in their own way, but kind of go through that process that the original artist had gone through, just to kind of tap into new levels of creativity, putting yourself in someone else's shoes to create something that they did, but with you,
Yeah.
your
With
creative
your own
mind.
kind of voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great exercise. I love to in our I've taught a seminar and I plan to make it a digital product at some point in the future with Fireside, but it's called Find Your Style, and we actually did it on one of the first reinventing or what was the virtual tattoo convention?
Tattoo gatherings.
Yeah, the virtual tattoo gatherings. I did one, but part of the exercise is just trying to identify what it is that you really like about a certain piece of work or a certain artist, and then try to mimic that piece of it. You know what I mean? Instead of copying the entire piece, it's like, man, what is it about that color combination, or what is it about the way that's really in focus and that's out of focus, and just trying to mimic that one piece of the puzzle, rather than just trying to copy the entire piece. Which doing master studies is a real thing too. That's helpful, but this is just like a quicker solution. You know, kind of like a fast filter almost. You know.
Productions, and it's like, well, now don't just straight up reproduce it, but like reproduce pieces, the essences of it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Were you able to get your piece worked out there?
Yeah, I can get up here on Chrome. I do want to, I suppose, mention real quick though for people that are watching. I guess I'm going to get it together. We have that inspiring tours together. I'm going to go with a tattoo now here. Okay, let me screen share, and it's a Chrome tab. Oh shit, Chrome tab. Hunter Spanks. Oh shit, you're right.
Allow
you're right.
audio.
How do I stop that? Stop. We'll get this Chrome tab, share audio, Hunter Spanks, boom. You hear that? Oh shit. No, that's bad. That's not what I wanted. Well, whatever.
We need a producer.
We need a producer back. Well, Hunter Spanks does some awesome music, but here it's okay. So here we got Justin Gorby here. He's got some traditional eagle action. I was pretty psyched to actually have a tattoo of the day that is straight up trad. Can you see now? You can see this, right? Can you?
I see a still shot of you.
Yep. Stop that share and start a new one, Abe.
Stop. Okay. Jake, you got another?
That's all I had this week. Where I can talk about the video that I teased last week will actually come out this Wednesday with our buddy Cooper. But I don't want to replay the same video.
I got it here.
If you guys mind, I would love to tell you who's going to be on that archaeologist panel. It is going to be one of the cooler academic level stuff. Aaron Dieter Wolf is going to be back. If you guys missed that episode with him on prehistoric archaeology, awesome. Also Andrew Gilreath Brown. For now saying thank you, Ginger Smith, more than ever for putting this together. And Austin, Lars Kruczak, Matt Lauder, Anna Facility Friedman. This is going to be some next level stuff. We're going to be doing.
And
that
where
panel.
is this? This is at Paradise?
Yep.
Nice.
Webcasting out, of course. So if you guys would like any information, we'll be posting that the next 6 weeks.
Awesome. Thank you. That was, I think, enough time and perfect for that. Yeah, I'm so excited for that fucking panel.
Yeah. Jen Smith, if you're watching, nice job putting all of this together so far.
Yes, phenomenal job. Can't thank her enough. Okay, I think now I'm going to be able to share the audio. This is the Aja audio. Okay, here we go. Now this is working right. Oh no, it's not. Ah. Give me 2. I got it. We got it. Chrome tab, share audio, Ajalu. Okay. Now you can still hear it, and we're looking at the tattoos, correct?
No.
We're looking at an animation.
That would be Android Jones.
Okay. Well, fuck this tattoo. No, we're not.
Well, that's all right. This is pretty cool to watch too.
It is pretty cool. So if you can find this somewhere. You do a search for Android Jones and Aja Lu, and you can play this for your clients. It's pretty sick. But this is not what we're trying to do. That's okay. You know what we can do? We don't need the tunes. You guys want to still look at tattoos?
Definly.
Yeah,
okay,
let's do it.
Let's look at tattoos, and we can.
And then we can wrap it up because we're 10 minutes over. Yeah.
Okay. So this is Justin Gorby here. This is a pretty cool little thing happening here. He's in Denton, Texas. They'll come up quite a couple. They've got some pretty sick tattooers here. This is Anaya Horace, but giving it a little bit of extra action. Thankful to the client. Oak Adams. Here we go. Check this guy out. So these are all tattoos of the day. Oak Adams is.
What does that mean? Tattoos of the day.
So when you when tattooers are updating to TattooNow, which is a website that I've been 25 years now, since the mid-90s, we pick a tattoo of the day winner, and they are always pretty sick tattoos. This is from a tattooer in Korea, Neon Drug Art. And it's let's see, Neon. These are pretty cool.
Nice.
They did
yeah.
Put up
I like the piece. I like the contrast in the color lines and the flowers, and then the bold stuff in the rest of the image. It's nice balance.
Pretty. Oh yeah, there's a couple of them that they won on. This is another. Look at that shit.
Yeah, really nice.
I'm psyched. The TattooNow's image galleries have been picking up, and as we for next year, and some of the tattoo website clients start updating again. John Goody, Lauren, you keep chatting about this guy. I was psyched when he has a website with us. Look at that.
Yeah, he's a killer. Just a hard worker, great work ethic. Unbelievable to watch. I've seen him at the New York Empire State Tattoo Expo, and it's just like, come in ready to work. That's your model artist for sure.
Yeah. And he's out at Outer Limits. Yeah. And this image here, when we uploaded to our Google business listing, everyone's like, Instagram. I'm like, I don't know, Google business listing is pretty fucking crazy. This got a shit ton of action. Look at that. That's a pretty sick ass tattoo.
It's really nice. Yeah. I like the layout and the flow of that one. I love to see how people deal with tentacles and suckers in particular. You could, I think you could do a whole course on tentacles. You know what I mean? Like a workshop. People handle them in so many different ways. There's so many cool ways to pull them off. And then when they're not good, they can ruin any any tattoo.
Well, they're pretty complete. Like it's a natural. It's like an equation, right? So if somebody doesn't have like a mathematical mind and they just kind of fuck up the algorithm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a nice piece for sure. What's this guy's name or girl?
This is John Goody.
Oh, okay. Same person. All right.
Yeah. And then let's see. This is Alan Aldred from the UK with a Little Mermaid sleeve.
Yeah.
He did a guest spot at Off the Map a couple of years ago. He's got a pretty sick thing going on there. They had an 8-month lockdown in the UK. Let's see. So this is another John Goody piece. Look at that.
Oh yeah, what an interesting. Is it unfinished, or is he planning to?
Nah, I think that's high contrasty. Would be my guess.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that idea. I like the kind of marks that are cutting through the lion, and then using that. Oh, it's almost like an infrared night. The bottom of it, you know what I mean? Makes you think of like night vision.
Mm-hmm.
How the tree and the giraffes are like glowing.
Absolutely, and it's got a little bit of color in the eyes too, huh?
Yeah, that's one of those things that is always a little tricky to pull off. Using little bits of color in black and gray tattoos.
Also, it is worth noting black back, or maybe this is photoshopped in, but like the presentation of this tattoo looks fucking great. I don't mind the brick patterns. I had brick pattern for years in our shop, but like black. We also had we finally got a photo station. This looks like it's photoshopped. But either way, the presentation is nice. Probably could use a watermark, but. And then this is this is Yanni.
Can I chime in about John real quick? He likes to collaborate. So if you watch his profile, sometimes you'll find opportunities where I'll post like a sick collab, like with Shea Bredimus, Adrian Franco, and like a call out for people who are interested. So keep that in mind. You can find him at John Goody on Instagram.
Awesome. Yeah, I was psyched. I caught back up with him. He's going to do an interview. We're going to do a TattooNow interview with him pretty soon. And then the last TattooNow of the day that we have, another one from Cat Tattoo. This is Jan.
Okay.
And, another pretty cool black and gray piece.
Yeah, very nice. That's great.
Okay. And next time I'm going to put together a video with the music. So it's like the music is like 3 minutes or whatever. Goes through the audio, goes through the tattoos. Pretty awesome music. Paul Talbot's got some pretty awesome music.
Yeah.
If you're makes music, send over your music. Kelly Bromley makes some great music from Depiction Tattoo.
Just saw Kelly last weekend, and he says, "What's up, Gabe?"
Awesome. He was great. I always appreciate his tattoos. Like I said, his tunes are great. We used one of them for the TattooNow show intro. And but yeah, cool. So there we go to 10:15. That's not horribly overtime.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
We should get a guest host or a guest interview for next time. We keep talking about it, or a theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's who in our chats wants to come on and talk about tattoos next week? Just raise your hand.
Well, while you're raising your hands, I have some closing thoughts for your guys' minds. I noticed, and I kind of, our parents, we all love people watching. At a convention, I love people watching myself, but artist watching in particular. I've seen so many different techniques and guys and how they take their tattoo, their finished photo for the gram. It's pretty interesting. You see some techniques, you see some really cool stuff. You're like, wow, I didn't think of that. Spook Soya was showing me some different things, but yeah, just to kind of watch out the next time you're at a convention to see what everyone's doing, because it gets pretty intense with the body movements you're going to start seeing, and
that's cool. Yeah, that's a great idea. That'd be a cool little quick series to put together. I think that, like this show that we do, 3 Minutes to Better Tattooing, that'd be a cool thing to have of photography kind of tips from people who are on the cutting edge of grabbing attention on social media. It's not me, that's for sure. I have nothing to offer. I finally learned how to not get horrible glares in my photos, but it took me years and years to get that. And just the evolution of smartphones.
Yeah.
Right. So, well, cool, everyone. That was fun. We have just in closing, we have a new episode with Coop coming out for the illustrative series at Fireside Tattoo Network this coming Wednesday. And I have a new 3 Minutes to Better Tattooing coming out as well. And then I do want to push again the Paradise Tattoo Gathering. You were talking about
Paradise BYOB.
Paradise BYOB. Yeah. But we don't have to I don't have to get on the plane and fly there with my own beers, right? I can buy some at the place.
You have to buy them at the place, actually.
Okay,
I've had to take the bud beers and the booze off of the official promotion.
Gotcha.
Like, you can't be like BYOB at a resort that sells.
All right, good. I would rather support the resort anyways. And also, I don't want all that in my carry-on.
Yeah, no, they got some good things there. And then what I have, I'm interviewing Fawn Baker this Wednesday, and Church. So Church is the fella that's running the studio in LA. Fawn is the tattoo collecting podcast. Wednesday, and then Christian Perez, Theoduskin on the TattooNow show. Every Wednesday from here on out, I'll be doing something or two.
Awesome. Oh, someone just popped on and said aloha from Hawaii. What's up, Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Tuned in. You're here just in time to see us say goodbye. But thank you for thank you for tuning in. All right. Well, I'm gonna pour. I'm out of bourbon, so I'm gonna make another one and watch an episode of Yellowstone. If you guys aren't watching Yellowstone, what's wrong with you? It's awesome.
No, I never heard of it.
Oh man, it's so good.
Although I'm rewatching The Wire after Church's he went through the whole Baltimore scene, so through the fucking depths of despair for the next. Cheers, everyone.
Have a good night. Thanks.